Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. If you support what is going on this channel, please go to Patreon and replace some of the erstwhile objectivists who have dropped out because they're afraid of what's going on or something like that. We're having some solid discussions. I think I'm ready to debate now the right racists. And when I brought a few of these superficial arguments to Rucka, he couldn't answer them. So it's obvious that the ableftivists and the cushy California objectivists don't have answers for these. But I think I do. I think Mr. Cropper's ready. So, I'm ready for debate now. And I'm thinking that I could go against Nick Fuentes or Stefan Molyneux at this point. I think that I've got the conceptual framework to throw questions to them and examples, real-world examples, because that's what it comes down to is, what about the real world? Do you have any evidence? And I think I can throw questions and evidence at them that would make them look like a fool in a debate. So support me in doing this. It's particularly urgent right now because apparently my discussions with Onar have lost me some wishy-washy people, I'm afraid. Now they can come back anytime and I'll rescind my statement of wishy-washiness. Okay, who should I debate? Nick Fuentes, Stefan Molyneux, or who else? Fill in the blank. Who should I go after? It doesn't really have to be a debate. It can be I just go wreck their videos, you know, old school style. But it's clear that these people didn't have an answer for this, and it's kind of tragic. The Rucka, for example, doesn't have an answer for these things, and then he sneers all the time at Dave Rubin. What's that about, Rucka? You know, I saw it at the very end of our very first discussion. Rucka and I, at the very end, he says, "What is it about us that we can have these discussions?" And my subconscious just threw up an answer to him, an agreement, but I didn't say it. I never said anything. I just waited for him, a sort of awkward silence, and because my subconscious said, "Yes, this is a valuable thing that we're doing." You know, all I could answer was with a cliche, so it is a slightly boring when you can only say cliches, so I was sort of waiting for him to make a little more, and it became a little awkward. I don't know what the joke is, except just it's a cliche, so laugh at it like that, but he's sneering at it a little bit. When you laugh at something, you deny its metaphysical significance. Now, open debate today, the ability to discuss things, is pretty important. Like, 20 years ago, it might be a good joke, but today it's kind of urgent, right? So that being the case, it strikes me as a little nihilistic for him to keep laughing about Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin is particularly salient in this because I used to listen to Dave Rubin. He was an interesting interviewer. He had a lot of interesting people on. Then he had less and less interesting people. It was just like some random sociologist from some university who was talking about her latest book, which was garbage. And the whole discussion was boring garbage. And it was one after another of these. And then, all of a sudden, bam, he leaves whatever thing he was in and is out on his own. Not really all of a sudden. It's like a 6-month period of him having he would invite someone interesting on. And everybody's like, "Oh, we can't keep having interesting people on." And it blew up. And so Dave Rubin, if you were following him through that whole thing, and I sort of was aware of him before, pardon me, I quit watching him during the transition and before the transition. I just got bored of his garbage. And then all of a sudden I was like, Dave Rubin is sort of back. I mean, he's back better than ever. Before he was just a leftist with kind of a tinge of curiosity at the edge, and he would have interesting people on occasionally. Now, he's like he's so far, we should invite him to the objectivist circle and let him come talk with us. And we did! He came and talked with us! It was a dream come true! Alright, so, Dave Rubin is like a living instance of an important event in our culture. The ability to talk about things is being destroyed and degraded on the left by collectivists, group thinkers. And Dave Rubin had to leave the left. And he brought a bunch of his collectivist ninnyism over here, but we're trying to talk to him and we're moving him on things, gun ownership and free trade and blah, blah, blah. We're moving these people on stuff. We bring them from the left, and then we say, okay, now these things from the left that you brought over, this is garbage, this is garbage, this is garbage, and they're learning. They're learning this stuff. Not everybody, I know that it's a big tent and it's a big mess right now. I know. So that's our job right now, is to jump in there and do something about it. And what does Rucka do? He sneers at the whole situation and the guy who is the epitome of the situation. He just laughs at it over and over and over. Very worrying. All right, Rucka, what do you propose as a different model than discussion about these things, debate? What do you propose as a different model? Why do you laugh so much at that? All right, I'm over it. I'm over it. It's just that, no, I'm over it. Okay, so, tough time I'm having here with the Patreon. Please go to Patreon if you're an objectivist and you want me to make objectivist content, you want me to be Mr. Cropper but make more videos and do it more often, then please go Patreonize me. Because I've lost some people who, I mean, everybody who supports me is an objectivist, right? I guess? Or something like that? Interested in objectivism? So who would withdraw my support because of my recent discussions? I don't know. I don't get it. But here we go. I'm ready to debate, ready to move forward. I'm ready to answer questions that Rucka had no answer for. And the leftivists, the leftist objectivists living in cushy Southern California and hiding from the debate and running from the room anytime anybody mentions race statistics. And they're unable to face them. They have nothing to say to them except that's racism, it doesn't fit the blank slate, and they run from the room. So Mr. Cropper is not going to run from the room. Come on. Come on. Mr. Cropper going to run from the room?